I need these two. I don't know the third step in the
Okay.
2 stages.
So this third step is talking about aerobic respiration. So we know for anaerobic and aerobic, we start off with glycolysis. If it's anaerobic, it goes into fermentation. So now if we do have oxygen, we have glycolysis, and what are the other 2 steps that we learned about at the beginning of class today and then on Monday? We have glycolysis. Yeah, go ahead. Starts with a K.
Oh, this Krebs cycle.
Yeah.
And
then the third step would be what?
What's the? Is it this?
Yeah. What do we call that?
Mitochondria.
That's where it happens. ETC. And that stands for our electron transport chain. So remember, in our notes we had oxygen being our last acceptor. So if there's no oxygen, we can't do this, and we can't do the second step. So that would go to fermentation. Does that make sense a little bit?
So the second step is not fermentation.
Correct.
So the third stage is
ETC, yeah. Second step would be our Krebs cycle. I'm going to pass you guys out another sheet of paper that has like the diagrams and mitochondria. I just want you guys to write the answers first. Make sense? How's it going, Michael?
No. Well, I didn't know this
one.
one.
Okay. So again, I'll pass out another picture that you guys will glue everything to. So we know, because this is fermentation, so this is the side without oxygen. All of that is with oxygen. So we have our glycolysis. What's the second step after glycolysis? It starts with a K. You might have it in your notes somewhere. Okay. So I'll work with you after class to make sure. Did you have a question?
You're going to give us an extra paper?
Yeah. I'll grab it for you in a second. So since you don't have the notes from Monday when you were absent, I'll walk through it again with you just so that you have everything, and I'll post it on Google Classroom. But our second step would be what we call the Krebs cycle. So, yeah, so it's spelled Krebs. But again, since you weren't here, I'll make sure you get those notes for you. Yep.
Where does it occur?
Where does what occur? Glycolysis?
Uh-huh.
So if we're not in the mitochondria yet, what's the jelly-like substance outside of our cells? Cytoplasm. Perfect. Yeah.
Products, it's just ATP, CO2, and H2O, right? Okay, well, and then for these two?
Kind of.
What's the pathway?
Oxygen is not present, so we have... Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Hold on.
One more.
The next 2 stages.
Next 2 stages. Yeah, mitochondria. Perfect. Okay. So you're ready for this paper. Depends what the question's asking. Yeah, so that would be aerobic. So it would be what's the final step? We abbreviated it. Yeah. What was this called? We had our, what do we call the ETC?
Electron transport chain.
Yep, perfect. So it looks like you're ready for this. So what we're going to do, I'll just get the directions up. So I'm going to be walking around with this second piece of paper. This is where we're gluing everything. So I know you guys might be mad, but it's kind of redundant. I had you guys individually write each of the answers on the paper that you have and that you cut out. This also has the answers. Remember, we're just practicing, we're repeating, we're doing it in different ways. So this will be where we're gluing our pop-ups. I'm going to borrow Lorenzo's real quick. But you'll take the part that doesn't have anything written, you're going to fold it over. That's where you'll apply the glue. So this question asks, when oxygen is not present, which pathway is it? Is it aerobic or anaerobic? Anaerobic. So you'll go on this worksheet that has our mitochondria versus everything in our cytoplasm. You'll look for the part that says anaerobic respiration. That's what the answer was, and you wrote it on the back, and you'll glue it there. Does that make sense? If you guys have questions, I'll be walking around to double check your guys' thought process and answers, so feel free to ask, but that's what we're doing. Again, we're folding it over, and we're gluing it to the spot that has the answers. Make sense? Perfect. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Reed, we gotta wake up. Okay, perfect. What? No. There you go, Lucas. Is it making sense what we're doing? Okay. There you go. How's it going over here? Let's see. Is it going okay? Making sense? There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, of course. I'll bring over my notebook because I put my notes in there just so you have like a basis of what the steps are. Try to copy down as much as you can, and I'll walk you through it. Okay. So this all three things is what we talked about on Monday. So this is all with oxygen. What we talked about today with fermentation is without oxygen. They both start with glycolysis, which is splitting our glucose. So glucose is our 6-carbon strand, and lyse means to break, so we're splitting it in half. And in order to get something, like our goal is always energy in the form of ATP, we have to invest a little first. So we give up a little ATP to get even more later on. So this is what we're putting in. So since we invested, we're getting 4 in total. But like I said, with canceling out, we would cancel the 2 and 4 to get a total of 2 net. But you also gain NADH, which is basically like, this is your pennies, these are your dollar bills, these are nickels. We'll use it in the last step, but right now it's not really important. But since we're splitting that glucose or lysing it, we change it or transform it into 2-pyruvate. That's our first step. So glucose, basically to pyruvate. Then we're taking everything that we do in the next step, we're always taking what we made and changing it again. Then we take those pyruvates, we change them again into acetyl-CoA, which is just an enzyme. Because this is happening in our cytoplasm, now we have to move into an organelle, so it has to be very specific. But this isn't specific enough, so we change it. So it changes into acetyl-CoA, and we get 2 more of these nickels. Following so far? I also posted a video on Google Classroom that kind of walks through it again some more. So maybe when you're at home tonight, watch it. You can take a photo of my notes before we leave, just so you can copy this down on your own. But the video will explain it a little more. Now we move out of the jelly-like substance. Now we're in our mitochondria, which is this. And we have 2 steps. Oh, sorry. You first have the Krebs, and then you